Welcome back to my channel. Today, we will learn about one of the most emotionally charged developments in the CBS daytime drama The Bold and the Beautiful. This storyline brings together pain, secrets, family, and redemption, all the elements that make this series a must-watch. In this deep dive, we'll explore how a shocking medical diagnosis ripples through the lives of the show's most central characters, especially Steffi Forrester, Ridge Forrester, Liam Spencer, and Bill Spencer. Buckle up. This story doesn't hold back. The story begins with a heart-wrenching revelation: Liam Spencer is dying. He has been diagnosed with cancer, and it's advanced to a point where his time is running out. The weight of this news is crushing for those close to him, especially Steffi Forrester, who has been deeply affected. Liam, known for being the moral center in a world filled with deception and drama, now faces the greatest fight of his life, one that he may not win. Steffi is the first to take the burden of truth to someone she trusts, her father, Ridge Forrester. When she tells him that Liam is gravely ill and might not survive, Ridge is blindsided. The shock in his face says it all. Liam, someone Ridge has had a complicated but ultimately respectful relationship with, is dying? It's too much to process at once. Ridge's reaction isn't one of panic but of heartbreak, and, in true Forrester fashion, he immediately moves to support his daughter. Ridge consoles Steffi, reminding her that she's strong and that she has a support system that will hold her through this. But the more they talk, the more Ridge realizes something peculiar. Many people already seem to know about Liam's condition, everyone except one key figure, Bill Spencer, Liam's father. This sends Ridge into deep thought. How could Liam have told others and not told his own father? A father who, despite his flaws, has always been fiercely protective of his children? Ridge reflects on the past, especially the time Liam was imprisoned under suspicion of killing Vinnie Walker. Back then, Bill didn't hesitate to step in. He was ready to sacrifice his own freedom for his son. That wasn't a small gesture, it was the ultimate show of love and devotion. Ridge knows he has to act. He decides to go see Liam in person. Their conversation is quiet but heavy with emotion. Ridge doesn't accuse, he questions. He reminds Liam of Bill's loyalty, his love, and the unshakable bond they share. He talks about family, not just the joy and support, but the responsibility that comes with it. Ridge gently but firmly presses Liam, "Why are you hiding this from the one man who would do anything for you?" This conversation is pivotal. Liam listens closely. He realizes that in trying to protect Bill from the pain, he's actually robbing his father of the chance to say goodbye, to support him, and to be there in these final days. Ridge's words land with force. This isn't about strength or weakness, it's about truth, trust, and love. With newfound clarity, Liam decides it's time. He arranges to see his father. When he finally sits down with Bill, the weight of what he's about to say nearly crushes him. But he does it. He looks his father in the eyes and tells him the truth: he is dying. The moment is devastating. Bill, the tough, often ruthless business tycoon, doesn't respond with anger or denial. Instead, the news breaks him. Tears pour down his face as he struggles to comprehend the reality. This is his son, his flesh and blood, telling him that his life is slipping away. The walls Bill has built for decades come crashing down in seconds. But what happens next is pure, raw humanity. Bill doesn't collapse. He embraces his son. He cries openly, without shame, holding Liam tightly as if trying to will the illness away. In that embrace, years of tension, misunderstanding, and emotional distance dissolve. They talk, not as billionaire and heir, not as two men often on opposing sides, but as father and son. And what emerges is something rare in this series: total honesty. They revisit moments from the past. the good, the bad, the near tragedies, and the times they failed each other. Bill apologizes for not always being the father Liam needed. Liam forgives him, recognizing that even with his faults, Bill always loved him. They cry together, grieve together, and come to peace with the path ahead. This conversation is not just about death, it's about reconciliation. It's about recognizing what matters when time is short. Pride, anger, ambition, all of it fades when you're confronted with the raw finality of life. And through this devastating news, the bond between father and son is reforged, stronger than it's ever been. For viewers, this storyline is not just another plot twist. It's a powerful reminder of what The Bold and the Beautiful does best. It explores the emotional core of its characters. It reminds us that under the glitz, wealth, and scandal are people with fragile hearts, desperate for connection. In the wake of Liam's confession, the entire family dynamic begins to shift. Steffi, having held the secret and the pain for so long, now finds herself in a strange space between relief and grief. She no longer has to carry the burden alone, but the reality is still as brutal as ever. Ridge, too, feels the weight. He's a father, and he knows that the pain Bill is feeling could easily be his own. His confrontation with Liam wasn't just about Bill, it was about Ridge's own understanding of what it means to be a parent. His efforts helped open the door to healing between Liam and Bill, but that doesn't make the situation any easier to bear. And Bill, once brash, often arrogant, emerges from this a changed man. The revelation that his son is dying softens something inside him. It strips away the armor he's worn for years. The facade of power is replaced with something real, vulnerability. He starts to look at life through a different lens, one where money and status mean little if the people you love are slipping through your fingers. This plotline serves not only as a dramatic arc but also as a profound emotional journey. It touches on universal themes, illness, regret, reconciliation, and roots them deeply in the personal histories of these characters. There's no melodramatic overkill, no unnecessary spectacle. Just people confronting unimaginable loss, trying to hold on to each other in the limited time they have left. The ripple effects are likely to be long-lasting. How will Hope, Liam's other great love, react to the news? Will Wyatt, Liam's brother, step forward to support the family? What will this mean for the Spencer legacy, for the Forrester-Spencer dynamics, and for the children left behind? Those are questions for the future. But for now, what matters is the truth finally spoken, the love finally shown, and the bonds finally mended, no matter how late. This storyline is one of the boldest in The Bold and the Beautiful's recent history. It strips away the glamour to show us the raw, emotional heart beating underneath. It challenges the characters, and the viewers, to consider what really matters when the end is near. Next, we're diving deep into the brewing tensions and inevitable drama surrounding Steffi Forrester and her complicated relationship with the Logan women on The Bold and the Beautiful. As loyal viewers of this iconic daytime soap know, the undercurrents of rivalry and resentment are never far from the surface in the glamorous yet tumultuous world of the Forresters and Logans. With alliances shifting like sand and old wounds threatening to reopen, we're on the cusp of another explosive chapter in this saga. Let's unpack the dynamics, explore the potential triggers for conflict, and dive into the passionate opinions of the B&B fanbase as we speculate on what's next for Steffi and her long-standing adversaries. First, let's set the stage with the current state of affairs in the Forrester mansion and beyond. For now, an uneasy truce exists between Steffi Forrester and Hope Logan, two women whose rivalry has defined much of the show's recent history. Their temporary ceasefire comes from a heartbreaking place, supporting Liam Spencer, a man central to both their lives, as he battles a devastating diagnosis of brain cancer. This shared tragedy has forced them to set aside years of animosity, creating a fragile bond built on mutual concern. Yet, even as they stand united in this moment of grief, longtime fans of The Bold and the Beautiful can sense the storm clouds gathering on the horizon. The history between these two families runs too deep, and the wounds are far from healed. This brief harmony feels more like the calm before a hurricane, with emotions simmering just beneath the surface, waiting for the slightest spark to ignite a full-blown inferno. Now, let's consider the inevitable catalyst that could shatter this delicate peace. Many viewers and insiders predict that the moment Ridge Forrester's relationship with Taylor Hayes crumbles, and history suggests it will, Steffi's dormant resentment toward the Logan women will come roaring back to life. If Ridge, as he has so many times before, finds his way back into Brooke Logan's arms, Steffi's bitterness will likely boil over. This isn't mere speculation. It's a pattern etched into the very fabric of the show. Steffi has always viewed Brooke as the ultimate disruptor of her family's stability, a woman who has repeatedly pulled Ridge away from Taylor and, by extension, from the Forrester legacy as Steffi sees it. The sting of seeing her father return to Brooke yet again could be the match that lights the fuse, transforming Steffi's current restraint into a torrent of disdain. Picture her pacing the halls of Forrester Creations, her jaw clenched as she processes the news of her father's latest romantic U-turn, vowing to protect her family's honor at all costs. This isn't just about a love triangle. For Steffi, it's personal, a battle for her father's loyalty and her own sense of identity. Adding layers to this brewing conflict is the generational feud that colors every interaction between the Forresters and Logans. Steffi's grievances aren't just her own. They're inherited from decades of bad blood. As many fans point out, the roots of this discord trace back to Brooke's early entanglements with the Forrester clan, beginning with her role in the dissolution of Stephanie Forrester's marriage to Eric. From there, Brooke's romantic pursuits seem to ripple through the family, ensnaring Ridge and even influencing the next generation through her daughter Hope's relationship with Liam. To Steffi, the Logans represent a persistent threat, a force that has dismantled her family's unity time and time again. This isn't just a clash of personalities, it's a clash of legacies, with each side claiming moral superiority over the other. Imagine Steffi reflecting on old family photos, her mother Taylor's tear-streaked face in her mind, as she wrestles with the idea that history is doomed to repeat itself unless she takes a stand. Her resolve hardens with every memory of past betrayals, fueling her determination to keep the Logans at bay. Let's not overlook the passionate voices of the B&B fandom, whose reactions to this storyline provide a fascinating glimpse into the audience's investment in these characters. Social media platforms and fan forums are buzzing with predictions and heated debates about Steffi's next move. One longtime viewer quipped, "Mark my words, the second Ridge and Taylor call it quits, Steffi will be drowning in her hatred for the Logans all over again. It's like clockwork." Another fan expressed frustration with the cyclical nature of the drama, commenting, "Steffi needs to wake up and accept that Ridge always ends up with Brooke. How many times does she and Taylor need to get burned before they learn?" Meanwhile, a more hardline supporter of the Forresters argued, Steffi has every right to despise the Logans. Brooke set the tone by breaking up Stephanie and Eric's marriage, then went after Ridge and beyond. The Logans are the root of all this chaos. These diverse perspectives highlight the complexity of the narrative, with fans split between empathy for Steffi's pain and exasperation over the repetitive patterns of heartbreak in the Forrester-Logan saga. Beyond individual opinions, there's a broader sentiment among viewers that The Bold and the Beautiful often leans on recycled storylines, leaving some craving fresh twists. One critical fan remarked, "It's just a waiting game. As soon as Ridge and Brooke reunite, something will tear them apart again. This show just keeps rehashing the same old plots, where's the innovation?" This frustration underscores a desire for new dynamics, Perhaps a scenario where Steffi channels her energy into something beyond family feuds, maybe a bold business move at Forrester Creations or an unexpected alliance that shifts the power balance. Imagine Steffi, instead of fixating on Brooke, pouring her passion into a daring fashion line that redefines the company's direction, proving her worth outside the shadow of romantic entanglements. While the show thrives on its signature drama, a pivot toward uncharted territory could reinvigorate the narrative, giving Steffi a chance to evolve beyond her role as the Logan antagonist. Next, we're diving into the whirlwind of emotions and unexpected twists that unfolded on The Bold and the Beautiful during the week of May 19th to 23rd. From shocking reconciliations to heartbreaking rejections, the drama in Los Angeles' elite circles has reached fever pitch. Hope Logan's triumphant return to Forrester Creations, her rekindled romance with Carter Walton, and the devastating downfall of newcomer Daphne Rose are just the tip of the iceberg. Join us as we explore the intricate web of relationships, uncover hidden motivations, and speculate on what's next for these beloved characters in a world where loyalty is fleeting and secrets are currency. Buckle up, because this week's events are packed with surprises that will leave you on the edge of your seat. Let's start with Hope Logan, a woman whose resilience and cunning have once again secured her a coveted spot within the hallowed halls of Forrester Creations. Fans of the show have long anticipated that Hope would claw her way back into the family business, but the path she took was nothing short of astonishing. In a jaw-dropping turn of events, it was none other than her longtime rival, Steffi Forrester, who extended an olive branch and invited Hope to rejoin the company. This wasn't a simple act of goodwill, it felt like a strategic move, perhaps a way for Steffi to keep her adversary close under watchful eyes. The confusion etched on Ridge Forrester's face during Tuesday's episode was palpable. His furrowed brow and hesitant stance spoke volumes as he grappled with the reality of Hope's return. Many expected Ridge to mount a fiercer resistance, given that Hope's past actions, including her role in a hostile takeover of the company, left deep scars on the Forrester legacy. Yet, there she stood, reinstated in a position of influence, a phoenix risen from the ashes. However, a word of caution lingers in the air: Hope must tread carefully. One misstep, whether in business or personal matters, could unravel this fragile second chance. Picture her navigating tense boardroom meetings, her every decision scrutinized by Steffi's piercing gaze, as she fights to prove her worth while haunted by the ghosts of past betrayals. Shifting gears to matters of the heart, Hope's romantic life also took a dramatic turn this week, as she managed to win back Carter Walton's affections. Their reconciliation, however, came at a steep price, requiring Hope to divulge a deeply personal and devastating secret about Liam Spencer on Wednesday's episode. With raw emotion in her voice, she revealed to Carter that Liam is battling a terminal illness, a confession spurred by an overheard emotional exchange that demanded explanation. This bombshell wasn't just a plot twist, it was a Pandora's box, threatening to unleash a wave of gossip throughout their tight-knit circle. While Hope isn't the sole keeper of this secret, her decision to share it with Carter raises questions about whether the news will remain contained. Imagine the whispers spreading like wildfire through the Forrester Creations offices, with every glance and hushed conversation amplifying the risk of Liam's private struggle becoming public knowledge. Will this secret bind Hope and Carter closer together, or will it become a wedge as more people learn the truth? The anticipation of who might uncover this heartbreaking revelation next keeps viewers glued to their screens, eager for the next ripple in this emotional tidal wave. Meanwhile, on the other end of the emotional spectrum, we witnessed the tragic unraveling of Daphne Rose, a newcomer whose dreams of love and power crumbled before our eyes. Initially introduced as a scheming perfumer with ambitions to manipulate her way into the upper echelons of Los Angeles society, Daphne's story took an unexpected turn as she genuinely fell for Carter Walton. Her feelings, raw and unreciprocated, left her vulnerable in a world where vulnerability is a liability. On Friday's episode, viewers saw her world shatter when Carter, with a heavy but resolute tone, ended their relationship and declared his renewed commitment to Hope. Daphne's stoic facade during this heartbreaking confrontation was admirable. She held her head high even as her heart splintered into pieces. Yet, as she left Carter's loft, the weight of rejection was evident in her slumped shoulders and the flicker of despair in her eyes. She had poured every ounce of charm and strategy into winning Carter, only to be cast aside, not even as a second choice but as an afterthought in the face of Hope's magnetic pull. Picture Daphne retreating to her sleek, modern apartment, surrounded by the luxurious fragrances she creates, as she stares into the mirror, questioning her next move. Is this the end of her pursuit, or merely a painful detour? Diving deeper into Daphne's plight, her unrequited love for Carter paints a poignant picture of a woman caught between ambition and authenticity. When she first arrived in town, her plan was clear. Use her talents and charisma to carve out a place for herself among the elite, with Carter as a stepping stone. But love, that unpredictable force, derailed her calculated schemes. Her genuine affection for Carter transformed her from a cold strategist into a heartbroken dreamer, a shift that made her downfall all the more devastating. As she stood in the loft, listening to Carter's final words, fans couldn't help but wonder if this rejection might ignite a fiercer side of Daphne. Could this be the moment she sheds her vulnerability and emerges as a formidable adversary? Envision her channeling her pain into a ruthless plan, perhaps partnering with an unexpected ally to challenge Hope's hold on Carter, or even targeting Forrester Creations itself to reclaim her dignity. Whether Daphne chooses to retreat or retaliate, her story is far from over, and her next chapter promises to be as captivating as her tragic debut. As we reflect on the week's events, it's clear that the bold and the beautiful continues to masterfully weave tales of love, betrayal, and redemption. Hope's return to Forrester Creations, secured through an unlikely truce with Steffi, sets the stage for tense power struggles ahead. Her rekindled romance with Carter, complicated by the explosive secret of Liam's illness, adds layers of intrigue to an already volatile situation. And poor Daphne Rose, whose broken heart might just be the catalyst for a dramatic resurgence, reminds us that no one in this world escapes unscathed.